Sul, vi now Frederge The Sims. When last we left off, Danielle tried one last time to get a promotion in Studio Town. Unfortunately, even befriending Irma didn't help, and she didn't get that promotion. Sometimes, things just don't go the way you want them to. And for now, I think it's time to stop focusing on Samuel, Danielle and Melisande. That said, they're all in a pretty good situation. Samuel earns a lot of money at his job, Danielle's starting to earn a lot of money in Studio Town, and they have a lot of really nice things in their really large house, including Servo, who has now replaced the gardener and the maid. Eventually, Servo will make up for the money that we spent on buying it. It's going to take a long time, but eventually that investment will be recouped. But we're not going to see that here and now, because now we're going to be focusing on somebody else entirely. You may be wondering, who else is there left to focus on? You're not going to focus on Dave, Yvette, Jim, Roger and Dog. That's quite right. Who else is there? I'd like to give you a moment just to see if there's anything different on this map of all of the various houses here. Just a few moments. Have you guessed what's different? If you guess that the house over here has more trees, you're absolutely right, because there is one more person that I would like to do some videos on, because there are a few things that I haven't shown off yet. And to do that, we're going to be focusing on Geraint Smith, the father of Dave and Samuel. Geraint Smith has the following personality. Average in everything. He is the balance of his two children. He is the occasional cleaner, he's a member of the crowd, he's laid back, he's amused, and he's easygoing. And let's have a look at his interests, shall we? He likes travel, he likes money quite a lot, which does suit his background. He doesn't like talking about politics, so on the 60s and weather, really likes talking about sports, hates talking about music, loves talking about the outdoors, really dislikes talking about exercise, likes talking about food, and just like his children, really likes talking about parties. I'm really glad that that was the interest that was deemed maximum. It really suits. Style is a so-so, Hollywood is so-so, technology is a definite no, and romance is mostly a no. Geraint here was an investor who invested in all manner of different things in his youth and jet-setted around the world to do so. They were all high-risk, high-reward ventures, and unfortunately, such is the nature of his work, he entirely lost connection with his children. Now a lot older, and realizing that he made a mistake, he took what money he could left from the previous investment that completely failed, a spaceship made entirely of marshmallows, and decided to buy this small house here, so that he could hopefully reconnect with his children. We're going to show off two things with Geraint. The fact that you can farm, that's why I picked this lot in particular, because there are the 4 farming patches there right at the start, and that you can manage to earn money while not going to work. It's something that I did quite a lot. But Geraint has worked enough in his life, and so he's going to spend the rest of his remaining years unemployed. Unemployment, a desired state for some and a dreaded state for others. The newspaper or a computer can always be used to find a job. Well, we're not going to find a job. We're going to see what we can do without having a job. To do that, we're going to very quickly earn some skills. Namely, we're going to learn a few points of cooking so that we don't burn everything down, and we're going to learn 2 points of mechanical, which will be a nice start for us making gnomes. Making gnomes is a brilliant way of earning money if you don't want to get a job. At maximum mechanical, you can make 100 simoleons for every gnome you make, and you make gnomes very quickly at 10 mechanical. But let's get started, shall we? Geraint, it's time for you to go and gain a few levels of cooking, while the mystery man arrives and drops something off that we're definitely going to open, because you never know, maybe Geraint has a bit of magic in him as well. You'll notice that his house is reasonably furnished. He has a bath as opposed to a shower. He doesn't have a very good television. he has a recliner, which is something that I haven't used with either Samuel or Dave. You can nap in a recliner. They're not very good for recovering energy. There are some really good ones, though, that are brilliant for comfort. So it's just an option just in case you don't want to sleep in the bed. We also have a pantry here. We can only have a snack in a pantry at present because we haven't got anything that we've grown that we put in there. We do have a way to eat if we don't have anything in there, and that is a barbecue. But soon enough we'll be getting things for the patches here, and we'll be growing them. We also have these that we'll have to water eventually. And all of this. There's quite a lot of stuff that Geraint's going to have to take care of, but I'm sure he'll be fine. He currently knows absolutely no one. And there's this here that I really haven't looked at with anyone. It shows how big his house is, how many bedrooms and bathrooms, the size of a lot, and various other stats like house size, furnishings, the yard, upkeep, and layout. Apparently, the layout of this house is absolutely dreadful. Considering the fact that I furnished it, that's not surprising. And so Geraint is going to gain 1 point of cooking, he's very quickly going to gain a 2nd point of cooking, and then he'll work on mechanical. And somebody has popped round to say hello. Why, it's Bella and Mortimer Goth. We're not going to say hi to them, because we're too busy learning. Some habits die hard, and for Geraint, working is something that he likes doing, and learning too. Goodbye, you two. We're just going to ignore you, and quickly get some levels of mechanical. Getting levels of mechanical will certainly help us when it comes to earning money. I do have 1,000 simoleons left over, just so that Geraint doesn't go bankrupt immediately. He has 3 days to get his income going. And maybe a little more if his bills aren't that big. He also needs to work on bladder and fun eventually. More importantly though, he's going to have to go to the community lots and get some seeds so that he can plant them. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get any farming done whatsoever. And if you're wondering how good this small black and white television is, the answer is pretty dreadful. I really should move that so the chair is there and the television is there, just so that we can see him better. But I'll do that once he's gained these 2 points of mechanical. It really doesn't take long to get the 2 points of mechanical and cooking. The 2 points of cooking are really, really important. There we go. You can stop doing that now, and you can go to the toilet. Meanwhile, we'll just move everything around here. We'll put that there, we'll move this here, and we'll just shift the rug like that. Much better. Now we can actually see you when you're watching the television. That said, I don't think you're going to be doing that very often. Your hunger is starting to go down a little bit, and fun needs to be taken care of. We may take care of fun right now by you watching the television. And we're going to find out what channel is your favourite. Is it going to be the one that Dave likes? Do you like Yeti Man? There is only one way to find out. And you did not flush. You're going to flush right now, and then turn on the television. You did wash your hands, though. You really should have flushed that first. There we go. And now it is time for you to have some fun. It's going to take a lot longer than it normally does with Dave. And we're having a look at the, that might be the, it's either the action channel or the horror channel. We'll check by having a look at this. It's the action channel, because you can't switch to the, action channel there. And he's sort of having fun. It's going to take quite a while for this to happen. It's actually going to take hours for this to go up. So much so that I think I'm actually going to, stop that now and head over to the, there we go, let's have a look at Old Town here. Let's go to a community lot. You'll really want to turn that off at some point, Geraint. You're wasting electricity right now. We need to go and get some seeds. And you need to turn that off at some point. Then again, you could just go and watch that again while you're waiting for the lift to arrive. Would you like to go to the community lot, Geraint? You would indeed. Courtesy shuttle is on the way. Geraint was part of a family tradition in terms of naming people after the ancient Simantine Empire. Geraint was named after somebody that conspired for somebody to be the emperor of the Simantine Empire, but he broke the naming tradition with his two sons, Dave and Samuel. His parents weren't very impressed with that. You're gaining quite a bit of fun, a lot of comfort too, and we will go to the old town, which will save our progress here. We could also say hello to somebody while we're there. If you're lucky, Geraint, your children might be there. Maybe. We'll also want to open that at some point. We're not going to make the same mistake that we did with Samuel and ignore that. Alright, off you go! There's nothing blocking the way. And so the shuttle heads off. I do believe that's in entirely the wrong direction, because the shuttle is going down here. It would be faster to go this way, because what we want to do is we want to find somewhere where we can get some seeds. There's MacArthur Square. We could go there. There is a pool hall here. This could be where we want to go. Alternatively, this could be where we want to go. No, that's where we want to go if we want to enter a pet into a championship. It could be here. There's only one way to find out, and that is to go and visit. I don't actually go to the community lots that often. Can you tell? Alright, Geraint, we're going to pause time as soon as you arrive here, and we'll see if we can buy some seeds. The answer is... there may be a way to buy seeds here, and the answer is, I don't think there is. I don't think we can, actually. This was a mistake coming here. Nope, we can't buy seeds here at all, which means that we need to leave. Very quickly. Let's call a cab and not go home, that was a mistake, and go somewhere else completely. We'll have to find where we need to go, because clearly this is the wrong location. But not before we buy a pastry for 15 simoleons, eh, Geraint? You are a little hungry after all. Time for you to go and see if we can find somewhere else where we can get some seeds. But first we need to say hello to Samuel! It's time for you to greet your son. It's been so long since you've seen him after all. I imagine Samuel barely recognizes you. But hey, you both dress quite snazzily indeed. Time to talk about interests for a tiny bit. Just long enough that, if Geraint decided to ring you, you'd want to go and see him. And it seems you share that in common, which is good, because that means that you two are going to get on moderately well. And the conversation of parties has been brought up, which is fantastic. And then after that, we definitely will call a cab and go somewhere else. I was expecting it to take a little while for us to find somewhere where we could get some seeds, and that's fine. As long as we get them before Geraint goes to bed, that'll be fine enough. And there is Mama. That's not Danielle, even though Mama and Danielle share the same head. Not literally the same head, the same design for the head. Alright, Geraint, you're getting a little bit tired, but not tired enough that you won't go and find some seeds. We really need to find where we're going to get those. It'll be a learning experience for you and me. And I know you may want to use that, but you might as well stay here. Or rather go up there, because you're really going to want to go over there. Has it arrived? It has arrived. Time for you to leave and head to somewhere else completely. But that was quite fortuitous that we encountered Samuel so quickly. And let's see if we can find where we want to go. There are various shops here. That is the pool hall. That is just a park. And this is the Old Town Quarter. You know what? I feel like going to the mysterious shops. There is a high chance that there may be something here that we want to go to. Or we could just go to here. Here looks like the definite place we want to go to. Silly me. Custer's Market. Come on down to the Old Town Farmer's Market. Pick up some seeds for your vegetable garden, or buy and sell the finest bounty Mother Earth has to offer. We really want to go there. Why didn't I look there first time? Who knows? But we did meet Samuel, which is always good. Now what we want to do is we want to find this. We want to browse for... there are beans, carrots, tomatoes, and lettuces. We want to buy pretty much all of them. We want to buy some seeds here for beans, carrots, tomatoes, and lettuces, because we want to grow one of each. Off you go! Unfortunately, we can't buy them all together, and Brad is in the way. But Giuseppe Rennie and Mr. McCutch are right there. And they're going to perform. I don't think anyone's paying attention to you. Ah, now you have an uninterrupted view of all the seeds, Geraint. Which one will you buy? You'll buy that one, and unfortunately that means that you have to go and do that individually for each and every one. We have tomato, lettuce, and carrots, which means that beans were not on that list. 25 simoleons. Hopefully this will be good enough for our planting purposes. And the fact that we can't just add all of these to our inventory and then buy them is an unfortunate oversight, but I'm sure we'll be fine. You definitely want to head home once you've done this though, Geraint, because you are very tired. We'll have you plant those tomorrow. And it would seem like Giuseppe is following us. We are not interested in hearing what you are playing. We're just here to buy some seeds and then leave, before we collapse in the middle of the grass. We want to call a cab and go home. We have no time for anything else. After all, we have next to no energy. We really need some fun, some hunger filling, and comfort, hygiene, bladder. You might actually be ordering a pizza tomorrow, just because we don't yet have the farming up and going. We may also need a little bit more when it comes to getting our food supplies insured. We may need a couple more farming lots. And you're just standing there, waiting for your lift to arrive. There is really no point in you browsing there, Geraint, because it's time for you to go home. I know, you're really, really tired. But if you head home, your bed is waiting for you. The one advantage of not having a traditional job in The Sims is that you can do these things whenever you like. You have no time constraint in where you have to be at any particular time, so you can just do whatever. It's time for you to open this and have a look inside. Excellent. What is in here? Your starter kit. Always handy. And we'd like to add all of these things to our inventory, like I didn't do before, because all of this is really good stuff. We want to sell all this, though. We don't want that, so we'll just get rid of that, and this, and that. Do we want the table? We'll sell the table as well. We could always do with the money. I know you're really, really tired, but we really need you to add that toad sweat to your inventory and go to bed. You might want to turn off the television as well. You are really, really hungry, and off goes that box into the sky. I didn't know that would happen, that's for sure. I've never actually emptied out that box, and so that was definitely different. I know you have no comfort, you have no energy, you also have a nearly empty hunger bar. Fortunately, resting here will help. What is going on here? Nothing. Some things never change. In this instance, the strange sounds of something bad, and then it was nothing bad at all. You are really hungry. And the phone is going. Unfortunately, considering the fact that the phone is in there, you are not going to be answering that. So we're just going to have you rest for a while. You're really, really going to need to order a pizza when you get up. So far the farming hasn't been going very well, but we're only just starting, and I think we will plant things before we do anything else. And it's 2:40 in the morning. Sounds like a perfect time to do some gardening. We're going to plant some carrots, we're going to plant some green beans, we're going to plant some tomatoes, and then we're going to plant some lettuce. Right there. And then you're going to order a pizza. I think that's a good idea. Or maybe you'll use the toilet and then you'll order a pizza. You could also churn butter and make gnomes, but right now, you need to think about your farming. I've no idea where you got that from, but you found that from somewhere. Just got to make the ground nice and perfect for planting this. And then you need to plant them. There we go. Carefully does it, Geraint. I've no idea where you got that bucket from, either. Oh, don't you know? I always carry a bucket with me. And things for farming, and, just a hammer, chisel, everything you could possibly need. When do you need a hammer and chisel? You'll never know when you need a hammer and chisel. They're always handy things. I carry them in my pocket, just like all Sims do. Every Sim carries those? Yes, of course. And that is done. So we've done that for one of them, we're now going to do it for all of them. You'll notice this is taking quite a while. Oh no, a skunk has decided to make your lot its new home. We'll call animal control in a moment. What we really need to do, though, is water all of these, and then take care of your hunger, bladder, hygiene, and fun. Mainly the fact that you're having absolutely no fun. But that was a lot of work. Eventually, it will be worth it. Water all of them, that's really not going to take that long. And then deal with bladder, and then hunger. Because the last thing we want you to do is have your hunger bottom out. That would be kind of rubbish. Let's call for a pizza, shall we? After, of course, you walk over to the toilet. I was expecting you to run. But no, walking is what you'll do. And when we come back, folks, we're going to get the farming off to an amazing start. Mainly because we're just going to water everything and occasionally weed it, and hopefully things will grow that Geraint can eat. Right now, he needs to eat something, though, because his bladder is, well, that's good. The rest of everything else is terrible. And that's the phone. Maybe we should go and answer that. I wonder who that could be. Run, Geraint, run! It might be lots of money. Knowing our luck, it probably is lots of money, and you're going to miss it because you're too busy washing your hands. Run! Fortunately, you had a nice clean route towards the phone. No obstacles in the way. Is it a lot of money? We could do with lots of money. The answer is... the number 6 will be very important to you in the next 24 hours. Never mind, let's order a pizza, shall we? And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Dag dag. You'll get there, Geraint. Just give it a little while.